The Tortoise and the Hare from Aesop's Fables.
The Tortoise and the Hare. One day, a swift and boastful hare laughed at a slow-moving tortoise. "You're so slow. I could beat you in a race without even trying," the hare mocked. The tortoise, calm and unshaken, replied, "Let's race and see." Amused, the hare eagerly agreed, confident he would win with ease. As the race began, the hare sprinted ahead, quickly leaving the tortoise far behind. Seeing no need to rush, the hare decided to take a nap, certain that he had plenty of time to win. Meanwhile, the tortoise kept moving steadily, never stopping or slowing down. Step by step, he passed the sleeping hare and continued toward the finish line. When the hare finally woke up, he panicked. The tortoise was almost at the finish. He ran as fast as he could, but it was too late. The tortoise had already crossed the finish line and won the race. The tortoise turned to the hare and said, "Slow and steady wins the race."
Moral of the fable: consistency and perseverance are more important than speed and arrogance.
The Tortoise and the Hare is one of Aesop's most famous fables, teaching a timeless lesson about perseverance, patience, and overconfidence. Let's break it down further. 1. The story in detail. The fable follows two characters. The hare, fast, overconfident, and arrogant. He mocks the tortoise for being slow. The tortoise, slow but determined and persistent. The hare challenges the tortoise to a race, expecting an easy victory. He sprints ahead quickly, leaving the tortoise far behind. Confident that he has plenty of time, he takes a nap instead of finishing the race. Meanwhile, the tortoise keeps moving steadily, step by step. When the hare finally wakes up, he realizes the tortoise is near the finish line. He runs as fast as he can, but it's too late. The tortoise wins the race. 2. The moral lesson. The fable teaches the famous saying, "Slow and steady wins the race." Key takeaways. Overconfidence leads to failure. The hare assumed he would win and became careless. Perseverance leads to success. The tortoise never stopped moving forward. Speed alone isn't enough. Hard work and consistency matter more than talent. 3. Symbolism and deeper meanings. The hare represents people who rely too much on natural ability but lack discipline. The tortoise symbolizes those who may not be the fastest but succeed through hard work and persistence. The race represents life's challenges, where determination often beats raw talent. 4. Real-life applications. This fable applies to many areas of life, including education. Studying a little each day is better than cramming. Career growth. Success comes from consistency, not just quick wins. Personal goals. Small, daily efforts lead to big achievements over time. Here are 3 everyday life examples that reflect the lesson of the tortoise and the hare. 1. Studying versus cramming. The hare, a student who procrastinates all semester but crams the night before a big exam. They assume they can ace the test with last-minute effort, but end up overwhelmed and exhausted, leading to poor performance. The tortoise, another student, studies a little each day, takes notes, and reviews consistently. They may not seem fast, but by the time the exam arrives, they are fully prepared and perform well. Lesson: consistent effort leads to success, while overconfidence and last-minute work often fail. 2. Fitness and health. The hare, someone who suddenly goes on an extreme diet and workout plan for 2 weeks, expecting quick results. They burn out, lose motivation, and quit. The tortoise, another person, starts small, exercising regularly and making gradual, healthy lifestyle changes. Over time, they build strength, develop habits, and see long-term progress. Lesson: slow, steady progress is more sustainable than short bursts of effort. 3. Career growth and success. The hare, a person who relies only on their natural talent and assumes success will come easily. They take shortcuts, avoid learning new skills, and eventually fall behind their peers. The tortoise, someone who steadily learns, works hard, and stays committed. They may not rise to success overnight, but their dedication and persistence lead to long-term achievements. Lesson: hard work and perseverance matter more than talent alone. Now, here are 3 modern examples for our contemporary times. 1. Social media versus authentic growth. The Hare. Some influencers buy fake followers, chase viral trends, and rely on quick fame. They may gain attention fast, but without real engagement, their success fades quickly. The Tortoise. Others build their audience slowly by creating meaningful content, engaging with followers, and staying consistent. Over time, their genuine influence lasts much longer. Lesson: slow, steady growth beats shortcuts and instant gratification. 2. Startups versus sustainable businesses. The Hare. A startup rushes into the market with flashy marketing and hype but lacks a strong foundation. Without careful planning, it burns out quickly when trends change. The Tortoise. Another business takes its time to develop quality products, build customer trust, and create a stable financial model. It grows slowly but stands the test of time. Lesson: sustainable success comes from patience and long-term strategy. 3. AI versus human creativity and work ethic. The Hare. Many people fear AI will replace human workers, rushing to adopt automation and ignoring skills development. But AI alone can't replace human creativity, adaptability, and persistence. The Tortoise. Workers who continuously learn, adapt, and develop problem-solving skills may take longer to succeed but will remain valuable in the workforce long-term. Lesson: technology is fast, but long-term success still requires human perseverance and skill, even in our fast-paced digital world.
Here is a modern retelling of the fable, The Tortoise and the Hare. The Coder and the Influencer. In a bustling city where technology ruled, Ella the influencer and Max the coder were well known in their fields. Ella, a social media star, had millions of followers, posting trendy content daily. Max, on the other hand, was a quiet but hard-working programmer, steadily building his tech skills. One day, at a networking event, Ella scoffed at Max's slow progress. "Bro, you're working way too hard. I could launch a startup and get rich overnight. Want to bet I can build an app before you?" Max, calm as ever, replied, "Let's see who can build the best app in 1 month." Ella laughed. Easy win. She quickly hired freelancers, used AI tools, and within a week, had a flashy app ready. Max, however, took his time, carefully coding and improving his project step by step. Confident in her early success, Ella took a break, partying and posting about her victory online. Meanwhile, Max kept working, refining his app, fixing bugs, and adding features. By the deadline, Ella's app was rushed and full of glitches. Users abandoned it fast. Max, however, launched a polished, well-built app that quickly gained loyal users. Ella was shocked. "How did you beat me?" Max smiled and said, "Slow and steady wins the race."
The Farmer and the Stork. From Aesop's Fables.
The Farmer and the Stork. A farmer had a large field of grain, but flocks of cranes and geese kept sneaking in and eating his crops. Frustrated, he set up nets and traps to catch the birds. One day, after checking his traps, the farmer found several cranes and a stork caught among them. The stork pleaded, "Please, kind farmer, spare me. I am not like these greedy birds. I am a humble and honest stork. I take care of my elderly parents and have done you no harm." The farmer, however, shook his head and said, "That may be true, but I caught you among thieves. You must share their fate." And with that, the stork was not spared.
Moral of the story: you are judged by the company you keep.
Let's break down the farmer and the stork in detail, analyzing its meaning, symbolism, and relevance. Detailed explanation of the farmer and the stork. The setting and the problem. A hardworking farmer owns a large field of grain. However, his crops are constantly being eaten by cranes and geese that sneak in at night. These birds are troublesome and destructive, taking advantage of the farmer's efforts. To protect his livelihood, the farmer sets up traps and nets to catch the birds and stop them from ruining his harvest. The capture and the plea. The next morning, the farmer checks his traps and sees that he has caught several cranes. Among them, however, is a stork, a bird known for being gentle and harmless. The stork immediately pleads for mercy, saying, "I am not like these greedy cranes. I am an honest bird. I do not eat your crops. I take care of my elderly parents." The stork believes that because he has good intentions and has done no harm, he should not be punished like the others. The farmer's judgment. Despite the stork's words, the farmer refuses to let him go. He replies, "That may be true, but I caught you among thieves. You must share their fate." In other words, the stork may not have been stealing, but because he was among the wrong crowd, he must suffer the same consequences. The lesson and moral. The stork's fate teaches a powerful lesson. You are judged by the company you keep. Even if you don't engage in wrongdoing, being around those who do can still bring punishment, suspicion, or guilt by association. Bad company leads to bad consequences. The stork didn't steal, but by spending time with thieves, he ended up trapped like them. Intentions don't always matter, actions do. The stork meant no harm, but the farmer judged him based on where he was and who he was with. Symbolism in the fable. The farmer represents justice, society, or authority that punishes wrongdoing. The stork represents people who think they are safe despite being around bad influences. The cranes and geese symbolize wrongdoers and bad influences who take advantage of others. The trap represents the consequences of bad associations, which can catch even the innocent. Here are 3 everyday examples of the farmer and the stork and how its lesson applies to real life. Example 1. A group of cheaters in school. Emma is a hard-working student who always does her own work. But she sits with a group of classmates who regularly cheat on tests. One day, the teacher catches her friends passing notes with answers, and because Emma is sitting with them, she also gets accused of cheating. Even though she had nothing to do with it, she now faces disciplinary action. Small blue diamond lesson. If you surround yourself with dishonest people, you might be judged like them, even if you didn't do anything wrong. Example 2. Hanging out with the wrong crowd. Jason enjoys playing basketball, but some of his new friends like to graffiti buildings and cause trouble in the neighborhood. One day, they convince him to hang out with them while they vandalize a store. The police arrive and arrest everyone, including Jason, even though he didn't touch the spray paint. Small blue diamond lesson. Just being around bad behavior can lead to serious consequences. Example 3. Workplace drama and gossip. Samantha works in an office where a group of employees constantly gossip and spread rumors about their co-workers. Even though she doesn't participate, she often sits with them at lunch. When management decides to discipline those spreading negativity, Samantha is also labeled as part of the problem, damaging her professional reputation. Small blue diamond lesson. Being associated with toxic people can make you look just as bad, even if you never contribute to the negativity. This fable teaches us that your company defines your reputation, whether in school, at work, or in daily life. Even if you are innocent, simply being in the wrong place with the wrong people can lead to unwanted consequences. The farmer and the stork teaches a timeless lesson about being judged by the company you keep and how associating with the wrong crowd can lead to unintended consequences. Here are 3 more examples that relate to this fable. Friendships and peer pressure. Imagine a high school student, Jake, who is a good kid and doesn't get into trouble. However, he starts hanging out with a group of classmates who frequently skip school, vandalize property, and shoplift. One day, the group is caught stealing from a store, and even though Jake didn't take anything, he is arrested alongside them. Small blue diamond lesson. Society often judges people based on their associations, and even if you don't do something wrong, being in the wrong place with the wrong people can still get you into trouble. Workplace reputation and ethics. Sarah is a hard-working and ethical employee, but she works in an office where many of her colleagues engage in dishonest practices, like inflating expenses and manipulating sales reports. Even though she doesn't participate, her boss suspects her of wrongdoing because she is closely associated with those who do. When layoffs happen, she is let go along with the dishonest employees. Small blue diamond lesson. In the professional world, your reputation is shaped by the people around you. Even if you act honestly, being surrounded by unethical co-workers can damage your credibility and career. Legal and social consequences. Mike goes to a party with some acquaintances. Unbeknownst to him, some of them brought illegal substances. The police raid the party, and although Mike had nothing to do with it, he is taken into custody along with the rest of the group. Now, he faces legal trouble and a damaged reputation, simply because he was with the wrong people at the wrong time. Small blue diamond lesson. Sometimes, being in the wrong place at the wrong time is enough to bring serious consequences. This is why choosing the right company is important in both social and legal situations. This fable remains incredibly relevant today. It reminds us that your associations shape your reputation. Even if you're innocent, bad company can bring trouble. Being careful about who you surround yourself with is key to success and safety.
Listen to a modern retelling of the fable, The Farmer and the Stork. The Teacher and the Test Cheaters. Emma was a hard-working and honest student. She always studied for her tests and believed in doing her own work. However, her best friends, Miley and Jake, had a habit of cheating on exams. One day, during a big math test, Miley and Jake secretly passed notes with answers while the teacher wasn't looking. Emma wasn't involved, she was focused on her own test. Suddenly, the teacher turned around and caught them in the act. Angry, she walked over and picked up the notes. "All three of you, come with me," the teacher said sternly. Emma's eyes widened. "But I wasn't cheating. I was doing my own work," she protested. The teacher shook her head. "You were sitting with them. Whether you participated or not, you were part of the group." Despite her innocence, Emma was given the same punishment as Miley and Jake, a failing grade and a call to her parents. As she left the classroom, she realized a hard truth: even if you don't do something wrong, being around those who do can get you into trouble.
The Ass in the Lion's Skin from Aesop's Fables.
The ass in the lion's skin. One day, an ass found a discarded lion's skin. Amused by the discovery, he decided to put it on and see what would happen. Dressed in the impressive disguise, he strutted around the fields and the village, scaring all the animals and even some people. Thinking he was truly terrifying, the ass felt proud of himself and brayed loudly in triumph. However, the moment he opened his mouth, his unmistakable donkey bray gave him away. The people and animals, realizing the trick, laughed at him and chased him away.
Moral of the fable. Clothes may disguise a fool, but his words will give him away.
The moral of the ass in the lion's skin. Clothes may disguise a fool, but his words will give him away, teaches an important lesson about authenticity, deception, and the limits of appearances. Let's break it down in detail. 1. Outward appearance versus true nature. The ass, by wearing the lion's skin, momentarily fools others into believing he is something he is not. This represents how external appearances can sometimes create a false impression of power, wisdom, or importance. However, as soon as he brays, his true identity is revealed. This signifies that no matter how well someone tries to disguise themselves, their true nature will always come out through their actions and words. 2. The folly of pretending to be something you are not. The ass is not content with being himself and tries to take on the role of a lion, an animal known for its strength and majesty. Similarly, in real life, people who pretend to be more knowledgeable, powerful, or talented than they truly are will eventually be exposed. Just like how the ass's bray betrayed him, a person's lack of genuine ability or understanding will eventually become obvious. 3. Deception has limits. The ass was able to scare others for a short time, but deception is never a permanent solution. In life, people who rely on deceit or pretense might fool others temporarily, but eventually, their words, actions, or circumstances will expose the truth. This applies in many areas, such as leadership, business, and personal relationships. false confidence or fake expertise cannot last forever. 4. The power of speech in revealing character. The fable highlights how speech is a key indicator of intelligence, wisdom, and sincerity. No matter how impressive someone looks, their words can either confirm their credibility or expose their foolishness. In modern terms, this could be compared to someone using fancy jargon or dressing in a way that suggests authority, but when they speak, their lack of knowledge or intelligence becomes apparent. 5. Be true to yourself. The ass could have simply accepted who he was instead of trying to be something he was not. The fable suggests that instead of pretending to be someone else, it is better to embrace one's true abilities and limitations. True respect and admiration come not from deception but from authenticity and self-awareness. Here are 3 everyday examples that illustrate the moral of the ass in the lion's skin. 1. A fake expert in a job interview. Imagine someone applies for a job that requires technical skills they don't have. They dress professionally and use impressive words on their resume, making themselves seem highly qualified. However, during the interview, when asked technical questions, they struggle to answer and their lack of real knowledge is exposed. Lesson: looking the part may impress people initially, but true expertise and skills will always be tested. 2. A social media influencer pretending to be rich. A person on social media posts pictures of luxury vacations, designer clothes, and expensive cars to make others believe they are wealthy and successful. However, in reality, they are borrowing clothes, renting cars just for pictures, and struggling financially. Eventually, someone exposes the truth, or they can't maintain the illusion, and their credibility is lost. Lesson: pretending to be something you're not can backfire. True success is built on genuine effort, not deception. 3. A student who cheats on homework. A student copies homework from friends or online sources, pretending to understand the subject. In class, they seem like a top student, but when the teacher asks them to explain their work or take a test, they are unable to answer. Their lack of knowledge is revealed, and they face consequences. Lesson: pretending to be smart by cheating only works temporarily. True intelligence comes from real learning and effort. These examples show how deception may bring temporary advantages, but the truth always comes out. It's always better to be authentic and work on self-improvement rather than trying to fool others. The moral of the ass in the lion's skin is very relevant in contemporary times, especially in a world where appearances, social media, and deception can play a big role in people's success or downfall. Here are 3 modern-day examples that reflect the lesson of the fable. Social media personas versus reality. Many influencers or celebrities create a false image of perfection, showing only luxurious lifestyles, success, and happiness on platforms like Instagram or TikTok. However, when real-life struggles come to light, such as financial issues, mental health struggles, or dishonesty about their wealth, their credibility is lost, and they are often called out for faking it. Example: some influencers rent luxury cars or mansions to appear wealthy, but when their real financial situation is exposed, they lose followers and respect. Lesson: just like the ass couldn't sustain his disguise, people who pretend to be something they're not online will eventually be exposed. Unqualified leaders in politics or business. Some individuals rise to leadership positions based on charisma, connections, or outward confidence, but they lack real skills or knowledge. Once they face real challenges, like economic crises, scandals, or policy failures, their lack of competence becomes clear, and their reputation suffers. Example: a CEO who takes over a company without proper experience or knowledge might impress people at first with big speeches, but when the company starts failing due to poor decisions, they are exposed as unqualified. Lesson: titles and appearances may grant temporary power, but true leadership requires skill and wisdom. Fake credentials and scandals in education and work. Some people lie on their resumes or buy fake degrees to get prestigious jobs. While they might fool employers for a while, they eventually get caught when they can't perform their job properly. Example: there have been real-life cases where professionals, including doctors, professors, or corporate executives, were exposed for faking their credentials, leading to lawsuits, firings, or public disgrace. Lesson: pretending to be more qualified than you are might get you opportunities in the short term, but the truth always comes out, and the consequences can be severe. Final thoughts. This fable remains highly relevant today, especially in an age where image and perception often overshadow reality. Whether it's social media, business, or personal life, the truth eventually comes out. The best approach is to be authentic and build real skills and credibility, rather than relying on deception.
Here's a modernized version of the ass in the lion's skin, adapted for today's world. The influencer in the designer suit. There was once an ordinary guy named Andy who wasn't very successful, but he wanted to be famous and respected. One day, he stumbled upon an expensive-looking designer suit at a thrift store. It was a little worn out, but when he put it on, he looked like a powerful businessman. Feeling confident, Andy decided to act the part. He took pictures in front of fancy cars that weren't his, booked a night at a luxury hotel for Instagram photos, and even started giving business advice online. Soon, people began believing he was a millionaire entrepreneur, and his social media following exploded. With his new status, Andy got invited to VIP events, gave talks on success, and even landed interviews on podcasts. People admired him and wanted to learn his secrets. But one day, at a live event, someone asked him a real business question. Trying to impress, Andy started rambling, using buzzwords and vague motivational quotes. But he made no sense. The audience, once mesmerized, began whispering. A real entrepreneur in the crowd called him out. "You don't know what you're talking about, do you?" Embarrassed, Andy tried to laugh it off, but the damage was done. His followers realized they had been fooled. Within days, people exposed his fake lifestyle, and his reputation crumbled. Moral of the story: you can dress like a success, but your words will reveal the truth.